What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be diving into some 5-color Jodah. This is definitely a deck that I've been looking to check out, and with the Bandit Meathook Massacre, I think this is like the perfect time to maybe dive back into this deck and kind of see how we do. I am recording this after I played my game, so I kind of have an understanding of how the deck kind of fares, but overall, this is definitely a very interesting deck. The deck is playing around the human archetype as well as playing around Jodah, which is definitely a cool card that came from Dominaria United. It's a creature that whenever legendary creatures control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. So the idea here is to build up some legends, then drop like a Jodah in turn 5 when you have the proper mana colors, and you get buffs across the board to all your creatures. The other benefit of Jodah is that when you cast a legendary spell from our hand, exile top cards of our library until you exile a non-legendary card, or a legendary non-land card with mana value less than the card we cast, and then put that card on. We may play that card without paying its mana cost and put the rest on the bottom of our library in any random order. So definitely a pretty cool trigger there. So you can definitely cascade pretty well onto the battlefield after that goes off. Because you are playing a 5-color deck, the mana base is kind of very heavily in the non-basics. I don't even think there's a single basic in the version that I'm playing here in today's video. But still, nonetheless, there are some other good cards that help us kind of get into what we need to get to. We have some Hopeful Initiates, which is kind of one of those cards I'm not really sure if it really fits the deck. If you think about it, it's not a legend, though I do like the upside of the idea here that we get to remove +1/+1 counters from among creatures we control and destroy target artifact or enchantment. And we have various ways of putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures, one being Catilda's ability, the other one being Helena and Elena ability. The other interesting thing with the deck is that we are also playing Shana, another card that's very interesting. It's a 3/3 with lifelink, and at the beginning of our end step, we may pay X. If we do, we draw X cards, and X can't be greater than the amount of life gained this turn. So she's kind of like that key card that helps us dig deeper into our deck, especially if our draw is maybe not the best. And we're just looking for ways to kind of, be able to safely attack in. Another card that actually works very well in any style Legends deck is the Plaza of Heroes idea here that creates colorless mana. You can tap it, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana to cast only cast legendary spell. You can tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control, or you can tap 3 and target legendary creature control gains hexproof and indestructible, which definitely is one of those things your opponent doesn't sometimes realize you have one of those out, and they do something like a Wandering Emperor effect or maybe a removal effect, and then all of a sudden give your creature hexproof and indestructible, and then it nullifies the effect and it kind of throws them off. But still, nonetheless, this is definitely a unique deck. I would say it's a very expensive deck when it comes to budget overall, as I don't think there's even a single common or uncommon in the deck. There isn't a single uncommon or common land, and I believe all of these are rares. So it is definitely it's a very expensive deck. So if you don't have the cards, I wouldn't go out of my way to try to craft it. As we dive into some games, you kind of understand how the deck does. I do think this is kind of one of those decks that kind of sits in the middle of the meta. But like I said, it could just be this particular version of the deck, but there are other versions that play some other legends in this color scheme. As when you play 5 colors, you can have access to all the legends in the format for the most part, though I do think some work better than others. But with that being said, let's just dive into some games to kind of see how the deck does. All right. I think the shuffler is broken. It's having a problem because last game we got 3 Thalias. This game we have 3 Helena Velenas. I mean, this is better, but it's not great. And it's slow. Okay. So the game's trying to tell me something here. It's like, hey, I think you should probably have the Helena of an Elena card and just have multiples of them. Clerics, possibly? Yeah, it's just us drawing multiples of the same card in this game. Okay. Now, can we outrace them is going to be the real question here. I guess I will put that down and see if it lives. If it lives, we're in a good position. If it dies, then our turn 4 is a little awkward. So, opinion there is I feel like they should still attack, right? There's no incentive for them not to attack in that position. So I don't know why they didn't, because they could have. done anything with that. I'll just make this white. This is not legendary. I mean, they should cut down here if they have it, because that's probably the perfect time to do it. I don't really feel like trading Thalia here, so I'm actually going to say no and not attack. And there's a possibility that if I attacked into that, I would get Wander and Emperor. Sure. Yet again, I feel like they should attack. They're going to put a +1/+1 counter, which gaining 4 is pretty good for them. No blocks. All right. I mean, that's pretty good. I'll say human. Then I guess I'm actually going to Halana and Elena here. I mean, it's possible they have a counter spell, though I can make mana of any color. Yeah, I'm actually going to put the counters there because I have the mana available to actually nerf all of their tokens at instant speed, and we're just going to have that attack there too. You realize this is a trade, my guy. Yep. Now, if they have another Wander Emperor, good for them. But definitely not a bad exchange for us there. And them cycling a land is actually really good for us because that puts us in a good position as well. 5 lands is a lot. Sure. It did its job. I don't think... I mean, I guess that's probably the play. We'll take 4. Oh, no. We're going to hold back. I don't have the right colors. Green, white. Why is it tapping like that? Blue. Black. I feel not comfortable here. I feel like they have a Wander and Emperor, so I'll sit back. Right, like, see, like, they could have done something, like, they could have got a Wander Emperor back, and then I feel like I'm not getting all the advantage there. Sure. All right. We'll spread the wealth to here. And now we have Plaza of Heroes open as well, so... Yeah, I think I attack face. I'm actually gonna leave the 1/2 back because it won't get enough counters. Sure. What do you got for me, my guy? Land. And hexproof. Okay. And we get a free card. Thalia. Just makes, I guess, everything more expensive by one. That gets haste. And counters. And attack face. I mean, I guess they could get rid of the Jodah. Sure. But you won't be able to get rid of everything. Fine. I actually think if they got rid of the Jodah, maybe they're still in the game, kind of. Though they're taking 15 right off the bat. I don't know. Opponent goes first. Yet again, we just seem to be drawing multiples of the same cards in our deck. We have 4 lands, and we have lands of various colors. So I actually think this is a keep, as much as a part of me thinks that better judgment I should not keep. But I think I'll draw into better stuff, if that makes sense. Possibly mono blue. I'm going to say it's mono blue, because I actually don't think there's many cards in the format that actually play a ton of blue lands. So I think we get this out of the way, and we'll see if we can play one of these. All right, we can. Making all our opponents' stuff that they would normally do cost more. So if they want to bounce this back, it's going to cost 2. If they want to counter something, it'll cost possibly 4 mana. That's a very expensive Fate and Hope. So that's good. All right, so blue-white. How about another? How about it again? Yeah, it's gonna pay me 2 life anyway. Our opponent loves playing expensive Fate and Hopes, I guess. Maybe they're just sending us up to play Fate and Hope into a counter spell. Now they have 4 mana. I mean, there's probably a good chance that there's a Wand and an Emperor lurking around. We'll play 4. Well, no, we should play the Plaza of Heroes so that we have a little bit less painful cards. I'll play Catilda. Sure. All right, so our opponent's not playing counters as of right now. I don't know what their deck is. So it's one or an Emperor deck, I guess. No. I guess because it doesn't want me to take damage. So the problem with this deck is it doesn't know how to not let you take damage. I'll play Hopeful Initiate. I'll say go. I'm not going to attack into open mana. That could easily be a Wandered Emperor. So we're just playing the wait and see kind of game. There's probably a Farewell in my future. Though they can't cast it because it would cost 7 in this position. Okay. We go to combat. I swing all. End turn. Take action. No. I'll draw 2. Okay. All right. that was good. On the play, I think Can's actually pretty solid. For the most part. Auto pay. Green. Enchantments. Enchantment. All right. Looks like I may be in a good position to do okay here. Sure. Um, hmm. We'll pass. I don't actually have a good attack there because I don't have mana open to replay Thalia, so it's not the best for us in that position. Sure. Our opponent hasn't done much other than play creatures, but there's no enchantments yet. So that's like my only confusion of like what's happening here on their side of the battlefield. Naturalists, perfectly fine. We're pumping things up. I mean, the naturalist does negate the effect of Thalia, but it doesn't make their enchantments cheaper. Sure. So they're spreading the wealth, is what we're getting here. Nothing. Interesting. And now, without them putting pressure on us, I mean, there's not a lot that's happening on this side of the battlefield. I guess they could play. I mean, I guess that's a card they could play. But what are you getting rid of? Thalia? I guess that's the card you get rid of in that position. I mean, I'll take 8. No blocks. It's fine. I just want the life. Another Adeline is not the clutch, though. This has been a really weird draw for us. I don't think to play Thalia. Oh my god, the most boring game of Magic ever. Come on, my guy. On the play, hand isn't great because we can't play anything, so we have to mulligan. Hand's okay. It's a little bit better. I guess we get rid of a Helena and Helena partners. And we'll play our Plaza. All right, playing Gruul. Could be interesting here. I mean, Thalia could be kind of clutch in this position. This kind of maybe shuts down maybe an aggressive turn 2, like a 2/2 or something like that. It makes them also have to pay an additional 1 in order to target Thalia if they want to get rid of Thalia. All right, Kamano. Of course, we draw a Thrawn Portal a turn late. Oh, actually, it's fine. I'll swing for 2, 3. I thought it was 2 or less. I didn't realize it was on turn. If we draw on turn 3, it still comes into play untapped. So whatever they play here will come in bigger. So it's a 3/3. I think I'm still winning this race though. Even if I take this damage. Okay. Opposing goes first. Hand's a bit slow, but has removal. It just really depends on what they're playing. I guess we'll keep. Maybe we draw into something. Not a good matchup for us because it looks like it's going to be mono blue, which is a very boring matchup if I say so. Make another white because double white's good in this deck. They're gonna. Oh, nope. Oh, is it? Okay, was not expecting. Is it? I don't want to play into a counter spell. Are we destroying one of my lands? I'll let them make the first move. Egg's fine. Well, I guess we get rid of egg. I don't want to deal with that later. Submit 0. We'll get rid of egg. It's perfectly fine, my guy. You really want your You really want your eggs to survive. No play. Can I make your counter spells cost more? All right, making counter spells cost more. I'm a fan. I'll swing for 3. I'll gain 3 life. I only have 3 mana, my guy. Okay. Can I recast my card? Any day now, my guy. Any day now. Sure. Good play. No blocks? I'll take 4. All right. Up to 18. We'll take that action. I'll draw 2. Say go. Fable. No blocks. Okay. On the play, I guess we'll keep. I'm gonna just play Overgrown into play tapped. And then I'll play Secluded Courtyard on turn 2. Opponent mulligans. Okay. Possibly same color deck. Human. Thalia. Enchantments. Awesome. Nothing. Do they have domain or something? Attack for 7? Okay. Decline. I don't have any untapped mana. They have Wandering Emperor? Sure. That costs 3. Man, I can't play that. Sure. What do you got for me, opponent? Attack for 6. It's probably a good decision. End turn. Okay. And we're back. So, I mean, overall, 5-color Jodah is a very interesting deck. I'm not sure where it really falls in the current meta. I do think this is probably one of those decks that probably leans somewhere between the 50-50, especially when you get in the higher ranks of the ranked ladder. As you know, I don't know if it was just not my night in MTG Arena. I played roughly about 12 games with the deck. I did 5 and 7, but I was towards the end before I stopped recording games. I was streaking at least 3 games in a row. So it's definitely one of those things that the draw can be very clunky, is from what I realized. The one downside, I think, compared to the other legend deck in the format, is I just don't think this deck does well when you have multiple legends of the same card in your hand. Whereas I feel like sometimes even in the Esper Legends deck, I do feel like that one kind of, even if you have multiple copies of the same card, it's not the worst thing. Just because I think those have other beneficial effects, especially in this current meta. There's definitely a lot of games where I had some really clunky draws. I had multiple games where I drew multiple copies of the same legend, not just 2 copies. I had like three copies of like Adeline in my hand in one game. Another game had multiple Thalias, and especially when you have hands like that, you're not going to do very well, even if you mulligan. But still, nonetheless, I think this is kind of in that range. Like, if it's kind of competitive, but it's also a really fun deck when it starts popping off. When you start having your triggers go and whatnot. And I know there's definitely different variations currently out there in the format. Maybe I just didn't play the right version currently in the meta that kind of works well with the meta. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this your kind of deck? If you have the budget, would you play it? If there's any deck out there that you maybe want me to kind of cover that you want to see me play or something like that, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, hit that like button. Definitely helps out a lot. And if you're new here, you want to post new videos like this one here on the channel, hit that subscribe button. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Just want to give a special shout out to the channel members here on my YouTube channel. You can also become a channel member yourself down below the video, hitting that join button. It definitely helps out a lot, and I just appreciate you guys for your support.